Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Stroud, a.k.a. man of the people. Let me turn my mic levels down just a little bit. There we go. Hey, Carolina Panthers just beat the Houston Texans. I believe that final score was 15-13. And we got a good show lined up for you tonight. As always, this show is live for the reason of interacting with you guys, all right? So that's why we go live. The show yesterday, I think we had Panthers Pickle on, and I had to say, hey, we're getting near our time. But I said, here's a reminder. The reminder is on Mondays, we always do our day after show where we give you more of the show is dedicated towards talking with people, all right? So hopefully everybody will enjoy that. And we're here for you. So also, you know what? I got to give away the Panthers jersey as well. So we're going to give away the Panthers jersey tonight. Hopefully I can do that properly. My co-host Andre Cassidy is a little slow joining me. I don't know what he's up to. He's always goofing off and everything. But we also have a special guest tonight. We have two special guests. We're going to have one special guest that's going to be with us throughout the show, or for as long as he can. You know, anytime that people give to us, we appreciate it. We don't hold them to the fire saying here any specified amount of time. And then we're going to have a wonderful surprise guest. A gentleman who traveled to North Carolina from very, very far away yesterday for the first time in forever. He's been like a Panthers fan for life. I don't know exactly because I've not had a chance to talk to him. But I was trying to get him on the pregame show yesterday. Blah, blah, blah. Didn't work. But he's going to come on to this evening and join me. So let me see. We got a few people that have signed on already. B Stallion. Looks like you got two different logins, B Stallion. What you got going on there? I see two different looking things. The Mad Chatter. So we always give special shouts out to our members. So the Mad Chatter, appreciate you. He said, I think we made the right pick going with Bryce. Tim Estes, he's online as well. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to tell you, we have no script. The script is whatever you all want to talk about. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. And we're going to work the comments, but here's the quick reminder. Two ways to jump the line. One is to be a member. We'll make sure we always see your information. Actually, I guess technically three ways. You got Super Chats, which jumps the line. We'll always make sure we acknowledge our Super Chats. And then most importantly, we want you all to get used to continue to come on the show, interact with us live. So that link is in the description. Let me just double check that is the case, but the link should be in the description. When Andre comes on, he'll pin it in the comment, and that link will allow you to come on, ask some questions. So without further ado, I think I'm going to bring in my surprise guest here and click this button right here. Man, I'm tired of looking at people and being like, man, they stand in shape. And I'm getting out of shape. That's the first thing I see when I look at this man. Like, God, man, he looked like he did his push-ups before he came on the show.
Hey, look, with all these injuries we got on defense, I'm waiting on Scott to give me a call, so I got to stay in
shape. you might get that call. I at least might have to be your agent and say, look, my man deserves a little workout, little after practice workout to see what he can bring to the table.
Hey, you the man of the people, man. You get me in there. I thought you had 3% agent fee.
Hey, this guy, I don't know if he wants to go by the government name. I see a name on here, but I'm not going to do that because he may not go by that. I admit this is our first time working together in this capacity, but I feel like it's going to be great because, you know, when good people get together, you don't have to rehearse. You could just do your thing. So I got my man Unnecessary Bluntness that just went out on my screen. He's probably going to, oh, now we got the 1980. Boo!
Camera died on my on my USB camera, so I'm switching to the FaceTime camera.
Hey, that's a man who knows what he's doing because I had to do that same thing yesterday when I was live. It's like you just learn. At first, you just be like, "What's going on?" And after you're like, "Okay, camera just went out, battery, something. Yep. Let me just hit this button, switch on over." But nevertheless, let's give him a little noise here, little sound effects. Appreciate you joining me. You might have to, well, not have to, but you might get to be my co-host for the rest of the show because my regular guy, he disappeared and came back.
Look, I dropped my video for the day already, so you got me, man. You got me till my wife comes home and starts putting on my shirt.
Hey, so the format of the show, you guys know we just like to be here for you guys, answer whatever questions you have, talk about some things, talk about our observations. I'm going to have to be transparent as I always am. I can't be mad at the people and be faking anything. I have been in daddy mode ever since that game ended yesterday. I haven't watched the rebroadcast of the game. I haven't watched the pressers from Frank. I wasn't even in the locker room today. So
Dang.
I'm not going to try to answer anything that I don't know. And if you see me deferring to something, that is why. Because I'm not going to be lying to you guys. I'm not going to get that stigma out there. You eat me up in the comments. I'm just going to tell you what the truth is. And I barely made it because I heard the son screaming while I was downstairs. And I'm like, she going to call me out? Am I going to have to tap out? But I don't have to tap out yet. So let me see. I think I can go ahead and – Andre, do you want to give me a thumbs up? It looks like you're zoomed in pretty tight too, man. It's like a super tight. Oh man, we got you. You're way too tight.
We're gonna have to address that real quick. Sorry for the.
Yeah, we're gonna black you back out, man. Well, I didn't mean to close you out. I'm sorry, I hung up on him. But take your time, Andre. Get it back right. He's playing with some new equipment that I took from him, then just gave it back, and he has to play with the settings. I'm sure bluntness can understand what's going on there.
Look, I use Ecamm Live myself, so I already know the struggle, man. I already know how it goes.
All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. We see some of the likes that are coming, and please, again, we love people to come on the show. That's the most fun when we get to see you, talk live with you, and interact. We got about 2 minutes that we'll give you when you come on. I forget his name, but my guy usually comes on. He's the pro at it, man. He comes on, and he's like, I ain't going to talk. I'm going to just say hello, and I'm going to get all my questions out there, and I'm going to hang up. So he can maximize his 2 minutes. So if you want to use that strategy, you're welcome to do so as well. So we're going to jump into it. You didn't tell me, so are we using a government name, or are we going with bluntness? How you want me to refer to you tonight, boss, man?
Just call me Dunc, man. Just call me Dunc.
Dunc?
Everybody on the channel. Yeah,
Right,
DUNC.
We got Dunc that's going to be my co-pilot for as long as he can. So we're going to get through it. Started up with B Stallion. He says, what trades do you see happening? Rumors going on out there about the team. Need O-line, wide receiver, cornerback, and safety help. Did you skip anything? It sounds like we need a whole team. We need to just get a new organization.
They want to break it down and build.
Help in little to no draft picks. Got to do something. Quarterback can improve with drops and bad play around him. So, Dunc, I'm going to go first because, like I said, I hadn't had a chance to do all my homework. So if you say much, you might take the little that I have known right now in my mind. But what trades do you see happening? There's lots of rumors going on. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be lots of rumors. Sometimes agents are putting that out there to try to get people to know what's going on and try to help their case. And, my feeling hadn't changed since I talked about it yesterday, which is, we need things, but I feel like we're in the worst position possible to get new things. We were 0-6. We're now 1-6. And in that game yesterday, of the guys that you say maybe could be traded, you not heard of Frankie Louvu wanting to be traded. He only has, 11 games left on his contract, so that's not too advantageous there that you pick up the guy like, well, I got him, but how long can I keep him? He could walk after the end of the season. Dante Jackson played good yesterday, but I don't know if they want to trade. To me, it always seems like it's Brian Burns that's the biggest possible guy to get traded. And my overall feeling, I don't get too excited about any trades with all the needs that we have because I feel like we just have absolutely zero leverage, zero negotiating power, and people just know, like, you're desperate. When you're 1-6, like, what are you going to do? I heard somebody talk about Miles Sanders, want to get rid of him. Okay, well, who wants to take on that kind of money for a guy that's not being good? Forget what he could do. It's like that's a lot of money for what he could do. You want to get somebody that really you know what kind of impact they're going to have on your team. You're not going to trade for that guy with that kind of money. I don't know his contract off the top of my head, but it just seems like, and to wrap it up, we need a lot of stuff, but we don't have much to stand on to say, hey, give us something. And I think ultimately we just need to become masters of our scouts, looking out there for free agents for next year, and for guys to be on the practice squad this year, the draft, and just start to be more patient and have a midterm type of plan. But Dunk, I'll let you go ahead and shine, man. Take as much time as you want.
No, I agree with you. There just doesn't seem like a ton of. There's a lot of rumors, but I honestly don't feel like we'll move anybody outside of maybe TMJ, and that'll just be like, okay, we're not using you anyway, so like we're not really taking a loss. It's ultimately taking a loss because you use a second round pick on him. But at this point, one reception yesterday, I think he had like, I don't even know, 4 or 5 snaps, something like that. And obviously the lack of just attention and with the whole 1 catch 9 yards, and it was a nice pitch and catch during that drive, but and I don't blame him for requesting that trade. I mean, you get told that. I mean, you lead the team in targets and receptions one game, even though a lot of them were screens and stuff against the Vikings, and then you turn around and as soon as Jonathan Mingo comes back, you're a forgotten thought. So I don't blame him, and he seems like no matter who the coaching staff was, he never really got that full-time starting role, and whether it was up to him or something else happened with coaching. Outside of that little stint with Steve Wilkes, we never really saw much for him as far as getting a chance and production at that. I mean, there's potential there, so somebody could jump on that. Who knows? Receivers are a coveted position at times, and some people just think that the system, they may have a better system. Regardless, I don't see anything with Dante. He made a case yesterday to improve his trade value if that was going to be the case. But I just think with J.C. Horn's timeline being a little bit longer than I think we might have thought, because I think Frank said a minute or two is the words. That's not really specific, but if he was ready, I think we get a lot more concrete thoughts about that. But with that being, we already being thin in the secondary, I don't see Dante being moved. Maybe in an offseason that could happen, but I don't think it's anything they're in a hurry to do right now. That's just how I feel about it. And I know rumors have come up about Miles. Like you said, that contract isn't pretty. It's not terrible either. Yeah, it's not terrible either, but he's just not producing to any level to match that number that he's being paid. So it's a very affordable starting running back contract. I think whoever trades for him will be on hook for like $4 million this year in base, and then like $5 million next year, and we pay out the bonus on that. That's kind of how the trades work. But he just hasn't been productive and shown that he can produce outside of an elite offensive system like the Eagles had. So
and I have camera issues. Look at that.
now I know how ECAM goes. Wow. But I just don't see Miles having the market value that would make it worth it. So I think that's there. Hayden Hurst has been unhappy. Apparently, I know he had some quote about wanting to be used more, but the emergence of Tommy Tremble, we've been waiting years for that, and he's starting to show a little bit of flash. So we're in a weird situation, and I know it's frustrating for us as fans, but like, just in general, it's like, okay, you spend all this money on a tight end and a running back, but then Chuba Hubbard finally starts to show what he can do and becomes a more dependable back, or Tommy Tremble starts to emerge, and then it's just a weird scenario. And I think some people kind of overreact to the draft capital. We're not completely like, the cupboard's not bare. We're missing the first round pick, which hurts a lot, but this draft seems to be one of the deeper drafts. Where the Panthers end up in the second round, especially after winning one game and a couple more winnable games in front of them, who knows? But I don't know. I don't think there's going to be – the only move I would probably make is if the right guy comes available for a receiver. I would be interested in doing that for a mid-round pick, because this front office hasn't shown the ability to make late-round draft picks develop into key starters, which kind of the way you have to build in the NFL. So if like you could get Jerry Jeudy for a 3rd or 4th round pick or something like that, I'd be all over that. If you get another receiver that's starting caliber for a 2nd or a 3rd, I would do that. Just because I think Bryce has shown enough to the point that, okay, hey, where is his ceiling right now with these weapons that we have? Is there anything we can see more from him without upgrading the weapons around? And I think they're kind of breaching that threshold. I think yesterday showed what he can do, but there was still some drops. But I think the trade deadline is never as exciting as it's hyped up to be. Definitely in the NFL, but for sure. I mean, NBA sometimes is like that as well, but I just think it never lives up to the hype. So it's fun to talk about, but we'll see what happens by 4:00 tomorrow.
Hey, last year we had, was it a record number of trades on the last day, like 20 something? It was a lot.
Yeah.
In recent years. So, we can have some fun.
Yeah, last year was busy. This year for training camp, I think there was the least amount of like training camp trades ever. Not ever, but like of recent history. Because last year I think it was like 16. Even we got involved with the Chenault trade and stuff like that, and the Baker trade, of course.
Baker.
It wasn't really anything crazy this year for Carolinas or pretty much anywhere in the NFL. So I'll be interested to see if anything does happen. But like I said, the only thing I see is TMJ, and that would just be like to wipe their hands with them. It wouldn't be anything like trying to hard bargain and get any kind of real compensation. It's almost just
it's gonna be like a third day pick.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be a happy trail.
This guy hit
happy trails pick.
Yeah, some conditional thing that hopefully like we was cheering for against the Bears, so they wouldn't have a pick. It's gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Your fan base doesn't have much to root for if like one of the storylines becomes like bashing another team and like we can't give them another pick. Like that's what we got to get to. We can't give them a high pick. How about cheering for what we have and uplifting what we have? But it's been bad. Andre,
100%.
What's going on, Chris?
We're gonna keep moving on to the next. Nice of you to join us about 20 minutes after the show started.
Yeah,
cool.
I'll take the blame for this one. Genuinely speaking, I mean, I've had so much issues with this camera, but nevertheless,
which camera? The new one or the old one?
The Canon one that you gave me.
You gotta
trying to figure out how to get it all situated.
That's all right. Don't talk about my camera live on TV like that, man. He's like this Canon crap that you gave me. But it's all right.
I shouldn't be name dropping.
You did. He's like you're bashing the brand. Now I'm gonna get a tweet from Canon saying like, "Hey, what's up?"
I'm a Sony man myself.
Hey, we're on. I got both. How about that?
Hey, you got all bases covered over there.
I do. Let's go ahead. And again, guys watching, leave some comments. Hit that link. Come on and join us, and we'll do some interacting. We're here for you. Dunc just dropped a lot of knowledge about nothing's going to happen, but if it does, I'm going to tell you this: make sure you turn on your notifications, because I'm sure myself or Unnecessary Bluntness will go live or have a video up pretty quickly and give you that insight. And also I think I had not put it in there yet, but by the time anybody's watching this video, you will be able to see a link in the description to follow my guy and check him out. So please consider doing that. I'm gonna let you guys, I'm gonna just toss this one up. I'm gonna go out just for a second because I'm gonna change my battery in my camera. But the Mad Chatter, we got to give lots of love to our members when they come on, make them feel special because they help support us. And what are you're wiping your camera off with your finger over there?
It was a little dusty. Had to be quick about it.
I'm gonna toss this to you guys. The Mad Chatter says, I think we made the right pick going with Bryce.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I even though we have had this period of time right now where there was some struggles with Bryce Young early on in the season, I didn't waver. I think I can safely say that I'm on the record and saying, hey, I've defended Bryce, and there have been some things that have happened where, it hasn't been favorable for him so far. But I just want to hear your take on everything and how things have transpired so far, and this game that we just had yesterday and how it reinforced things for Carolina to pick Bryce Young and how that was the right decision.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I was on call it the right side of history in terms of not calling Bryce Young a bust after 6 games. If that was even a line there, like it seems very extreme anyway. However, we're in a microwave society, and especially when you're kind of looking over your shoulder at the team that picked after you and you see that guy kind of doing this thing. I understand it's human nature to kind of not always run your own race and look over left and right. However, like you said, yesterday felt like vindication almost. And clearly, if I'm going to buy into 6 games doesn't define Bryce, it's the same thing. One game is not going to define CJ being better than Bryce or Bryce being better than CJ. It just felt like vindication for the people that has been comparing them tooth and nail, play by play, throw by throw, every little thing. Granted, they're going to be linked together. One, they're friends. Two, they're in the same draft class. That's just naturally what happens. I think it wears off after a while because nobody really talks about Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Sam Darnold and all that anymore in terms of who should have picked who and what there. But it's natural that it happens. However, it felt like vindication. Legacy game for Bryce. It almost felt scripted. Like a come from behind win off the bye week. First win in Bryce Young's career is a game-winning drive that sets it up for a field goal. He starts from the 9-yard line, goes 80-plus yards, and it like I said, it felt scripted almost, and you couldn't really draw it up, especially with the batted passes and everything, with CJ getting like 4 passes batted and Bryce having none, and that's being like the craze of the summer about how tall Bryce was and looking at him in pictures beside everybody to say, oh, he's too short or he's doing that and whatever.
He still looks funny in the pictures, man. He still looks funny.
He's not like he said he's not going to grow anymore. So it kind of just is what it is. But I think we also learned that he's tough as nails, man. Like hit 10 times, sacked 6 times. Some of those sacks were brutal, man. Like some of those were brutal, and he kept getting up, and it's like I said, it was a legacy game for him, man. It just felt like vindication, I think, for him, probably for the coaching staff, the team in general. They got that win too, and you could just see the emotions from everybody on the team in the locker room, man. And it's winning. Winning definitely makes a lot of things feel better. You would thought we won the Super Bowl out there the way they stormed the field yesterday, but it was just one win, man. But you got to enjoy it. If anything, you learn that winning is hard in this league. So
you sound like a coach.
Look,
you sound like
it's the truth, man. We had to learn the hard way that winning is hard. But got to enjoy them while they hard. I definitely enjoyed my victory Monday. I ain't getting any donuts though.
You didn't get. Hey, let me Dunc. You would not say that the show yesterday. I'm sorry that the game was scripted yesterday. You got to tune into our pregame show. I know you got your own thing going on. So I ain't by all means saying delay your show. But on our show yesterday morning, my man Andre Cassidy dropped a few nuggets. He said that one thing he said was, what's that stat you gave about Frank?
That he is 4-0 after the bye week.
He gave that one, and then you gave a prediction at the end of the game. You said what the score need to look like. You made that right before we got off air yesterday.
I had it at what? I think it was 2017, if I remember correctly.
I think you were a little lower than that. You said something about they keep their points to, I forget, like 17 or so, 15?
Yeah, keep it under 17, and you'll have a pretty realistic shot of winning, which they did. They only gave up 13 points, and then coming off of 2 performances 2 weeks prior, where they gave up 42 points respectively to the Lions and to the Dolphins. So the fact that they were able to keep it at a level which they were able to control was really impressive on their end.
All right, so now we got to cut. We could come back to some things, but I got this guy that I got to bring onto the show. Hopefully, I'm going to do this right. I have not had 4 people on the show at one time.
Oh, boy.
I almost feel like I'm lying because I did yesterday, but we were all in the same place. Now we're all in different places. So I'm going to hit this button right here and see. Oh, look at there. It automatically does it nicely for me there.
This is a first right here.
I don't know if you're able to turn your phone sideways so we can get you might have to.
The full.
Look at there. Look at there.
The horizontal effect.
Look at that. Yes. Look at that room. So let me set this up so you guys can know who we're talking to. I've yet to meet this gentleman, but this is why he's on the show. I was on Twitter. And suddenly on my timeline, I might not get this exactly correct, but he'll correct me. I saw this picture come up on Twitter, and I think it was something like he's been a fan for almost 30 years of the Carolina Panthers. He lives nowhere near the East Coast, and something like yesterday was his second time being in Charlotte, and he went to a game. And so he's turned out to be our lucky charm, sounds like. So I'd invited him on the pregame show. I didn't do a good job. Andre can probably laugh and say, he'll help give me my disclaimer because I just had a baby about a week ago. But I did give him enough
Congrats.
contact information, and I didn't check Twitter beforehand. Anyway, he's here now. So if you don't mind, sir, introducing yourself.
So I'm Nate Madewell, and you are pretty close. I know that the team has only had 28 seasons, but I am from Idaho. I'm actually back in Idaho now. So I remember the commercials with the Jaguars and the Panthers coming out, and I said, "Mom, that's going to be my team." And we went to a Kmart here in Idaho, and by chance there was a Panthers backpack there, and I've been a fan ever since,
Wow.
man. So I've been through the ups and downs. I mean, the '96 season when we made it to the playoffs. I've been through the 2001 season when we won the first game and lost the rest. The Super Bowl season. I've been through the quarterback carousel after Jake was hurt. I've been through it all, man.
So,
Now here we are. I've been in the Cam Newton era. We're here.
so how many times have you been to Charlotte? I know you were here yesterday, obviously.
Yeah, so yesterday was our second time in Charlotte, but that's the first game I've ever been to. We did attend the Fan Fest for 2016, but I'd never been to a game before. My wife always would tease me like, "Hey, let's go to Vegas or let's go to Seattle," and I'd say, "No, I'm not getting spit on. If I watch them go, if I'm going to watch them, I'm going to watch them at Charlotte."
So you didn't want to see him
This is smart
outside
man
of
right
Charlotte,
there.
huh?
No, I got to be with my people.
Respect.
I like that. So, give me a little preview of what's it like being a fan of the Panthers out in Idaho, and then however much you can share. I need to see that backdrop because I think you and Dunc
I
just
got a
blow
whole
us out the
Panther
water.
room, man.
Oh man.
I got a whole Panther room, man.
Oh,
Uh,
fathead.
Oh, he's got C-Mac up there.
I got. Well, let's see. We got Thomas Davis signed jersey. We got Luke
Wow.
Kuechly signed jersey. My daughter's name is Kuechly.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. That's dedication
She'll
right
turn
there.
2 next month.
Nice.
And then I got the Steve Smith signed. I got Greg Olson signed. I got a Julius Peppers on that wall. Steve Smith on there. I got a Luke Kuechly signed helmet. I got a Christian McCaffrey signed picture. I got a Kevin Green signed football, and I got a Jeremy Chin signed little mini helmet, and I got a DJ Moore signed jersey in the closet. I couldn't fit it up in here anymore, so I'm running out of room.
So I'm assuming those signatures you just had to buy them signed, or did you meet these
Oh
guys?
yeah, I had to buy them signed. I
So you're invested.
never see them anywhere. But what it's like being a fan here, it's okay. I mean, nobody like I kind of look like Bigfoot out here. Nobody sees Panther fans when they
Nobody
see
believes
me.
they
They're
exist.
like, "You exist?" And I'll see a few if we're winning. I'll see a few fans, but around here, I'm the Panther guy. You will not catch me anywhere without at least having a Panthers hat on.
Whose jersey do you
Period.
have on right now? Is that Christian?
Jeremy Chin,
Oh, 10, 21?
Jeremy Chin. Yeah,
Okay.
I have like 30 jerseys, and I
Gosh.
collect
just says
hats.
that so
I have
casually,
186
too.
Panthers hats.
How many?
So
Panthers hats?
186.
You
Wow.
got me beat. I got a lot, but you got me beat on my
I
Panthers
got
hats.
Look at that.
a whole,
Oh my
and
goodness.
that's like 6 or 7 deep. Sorry, it's kind of messy in there. My daughter's taking over some of it, but
I think it would be
yeah,
hard to have
it's
that many
hey.
hats and not have a little organization needed in the average person's home. So good job.
it's kind of hard. I'm running out of room. I had them all nice for a while, but then it's like I kind of have to have them spread out so I can see where the one I want is.
Yeah.
I got to color coordinate.
Well, hey, I'm going to be a fair panelist here, and I don't know if Dunc or Andre have any questions that you want to ask as we go through this interview, because I feel like I'm greatly intrigued.
Nah, Idaho. So you born and raised there?
Yeah, I'm in Burley, Idaho, which is about 2 hours from Boise and about 2 hours from Salt Lake City, Utah. So we're right in between.
Okay.
Now,
So you just
have
rank.
you
So
ever considered moving to Charlotte?
I want to. The first time we were there, we didn't get to spend a lot of time in Charlotte. We went to Boone and stayed in Boone the first time we went to North Carolina, and I loved it there. But yes, we got in Thursday of this week, and we stayed all weekend, and we took in a lot of stuff. We've seen the Hornets play on Friday. We went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. My father-in-law's an avid NASCAR guy. I'm kind of into it now that I've been with my wife for as long as I have. So that was kind of neat. But I don't know. I just get this weird twinkle in my eye when I pass Bank of America Stadium, and it's just like I'm around my people. So everybody
It
treats me
just warms
nice.
the heart.
Oh yeah, I went from 84 there to 33 here, so
sheesh.
pretty cool.
Hey, I'm gonna give it back to the other guys, but I want to show two comments real quick. One guy says, "Please store some of that stuff in a safe," and another guy says, "I have about 40 hats, but 180. Wow, true fans represent fantastic." I'll turn it back over to
I have
Andre
every
Dunc.
draft hat from 95 on. I have every single one.
That's
Wow.
notable. I have about 40 hats. I'm a vintage guy myself, but I don't have 180. I don't have 180. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, how do you even
I
have
got
the
a lot.
room for all that, man? I mean, you're keeping it pretty organized as is, but man, that's impressive.
I got 3 boxes down on the floor you didn't see, and my wife always at first it was like, "Oh, more hats," and now it's like, "Okay, which one don't you have?"
And how many
So
jerseys did you
pretty
say you
cool.
had?
I think I have about 30, but that's counting from my first jersey to now. So
And who
my
was
very
your
first jersey was Kevin Green.
Kevin Green. Okay.
Yeah, my mom went to Chicago and came home with it, and I was elated. I was 8 years old, and I still have it. But don't ask me to dig it out.
You picked a hell of a game to go to, man, especially for the first game.
Right.
I was very happy. I told my wife, they're 0-6. I do not care. I'm going to support my boys. And if they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. But I'm going to be there, and I will say that I got to watch them play live.
Did you get a good
And
price
it
on
was
the tickets?
What's that?
Did you get a good price on the tickets?
I don't know. I got them for my birthday. It was a pretty cool surprise. My wife did a good job. So my birthday was in July, and my wife bought these tickets and had a cameo by Steve Smith to tell me,
Dang.
because Smitty's my favorite Panther ever. I would have named my daughter Smitty, but I don't know if that would have worked too well. But she bought me the tickets and had him do a cameo to tell me I was going. We were at an IHOP that morning, and I cried in the middle of IHOP. So
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
no, I was just a grown man.
Pure tears of joy, right?
Yeah. My mom cried too, even though she didn't come with us. So, I mean, it runs pretty deep. My mom, I remember when I was a kid, I'd never let her watch the games because anytime she'd come in the room, we'd lose.
Oh man,
She was never allowed to watch them.
superstitious there.
Whatever superstition you did this past Sunday, repeat that. If we gotta get a
doing it,
GoFundMe
man.
together to get you to the game, we'll do that again. We need another
gotta
win
hit
I would
Sunday.
tell you what
We
it
gotta
is,
hit up
but I
Pepper.
can't tell you because I feel like it's going to make it wrong. It's not going to work.
Don't say it then. Don't say it.
No, I ain't saying
Don't say it then. Don't jinx it.
it.
Hey, go ahead and give us your reaction to that game. How was the whole game day experience for you yesterday?
It was pretty cool, man. Like, we sat pretty high up, but not far enough to where I couldn't really see. It was nice. We were right in the middle, basically clear almost to the 50. Everybody that we sat by was really nice. We were all high-fiving each other all game. We were banging the chairs. I thought the chair was going to break at one point, but it didn't. It didn't. I would have felt really bad if I broke a chair at my favorite stadium, but it didn't break. So everybody was super nice, and it seemed like everybody had patience for everybody, being that crowded for where we were. I know that the stadium wasn't full, but to me, that was a lot of people because I'm from a town of 2,000 or so. So, so it was kind of cool. I mean, everybody was super nice to me. I remember there was a couple older guys sitting outside on the walk to the stadium, and they said, "Oh, you guys haven't given up yet?" And I said, "Today's the day, man. Today's the day." And it was.
Hey, Duncan, Andre, I still want to check with you guys, see if you have any more questions before we wrap up.
Nah, I was just gonna say, unfortunately, there's a lot more empty chairs in the stadium, but it's a very underrated. It's a very underrated noisemaker at Bank of America Stadium is slamming an empty chair. I'll say that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
I
One
want
of
to
my favorite
say this.
instruments when I go to games in Charlotte.
Yes, but I want to say this to all you fans out there. It's not about whether we're winning or losing. If you're a real fan, you're going to be there no matter what. Because if you're only there to make the noise when we're winning, that doesn't help us at all when we're losing. So let's win some games. Let's get the people out there and let's keep pounding.
Yes,
Andre, did you have anything?
Man, I don't know how to top that, man. That was pretty good right there, speaking facts. But I'll just ask you this, and I'll just say this too. So you got the opportunity to see Musa Muhammad and Julius Peppers get inducted into the Hall of Honor. What was that experience like for you? Because I know for us up in the press box, it was pretty cool to see all the theatrics and everything surrounding that. But how did you see it from the stands, and what did you feel that experience was like out there?
You could just feel everybody in the stadium like a solid hush to be able to listen to two great men speak about how great they were in their profession and how much they meant to this team. Other than when we were yelling Moose, but that we had to do that. But those two are legends to the team, and I would lie if I say I didn't tear up a little bit, especially in that promo that they put out a couple days ago. Like it just like brings back a rush of memories. Like I remember that second game of Peppers when he jumped up on and dove onto Joey Harrington. That I always remember that. I always remember that interception from Denver. Like that guy was amazing. I wore his jersey pretty much every other day in high school. So to see him go in was awesome. And Moose too. Like I remember always when I was younger, I'd say Musa Muhammad's underrated and you guys don't know nothing. He was an epitome of a great wide receiver. He just never really got the credit he deserved, I think. Oh, until 04, I guess. But the guy was a blocker. The guy was always catching everything. Anytime we had to have a big play, he would make it. And for me to see them both go into the Hall of Honor and have their name up in the rafters, that's just awesome, man. And I was really elated to be there, and everybody was so cool to us. And I met a few people there that I kind of talked to on Twitter, and they had us in their pregame tailgate and, free food and drinks and stuff. So just everybody was so cool to us, and I just appreciate it. And even this, like, I really appreciate you guys having me on. I mean, like I said, I guess I'm like Bigfoot. I'm out here in Idaho representing, but, the Loch Ness Monster's out here, and we're going to win some more games.
Hey, man, you're awesome. To me, it actually worked out better that we got you on now, because yesterday I would have been trying to keep you to a shorter amount of time because of so much stuff we had to get through with all the people that we had on that pregame show. So I think this actually blessings worked out better to get to know you. And I still I'm with Dunc, man. I want to get a GoFundMe started and get you back at least one time on some kind of special occasion for something, man, because the passion that you have is incredible. And
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to talk my wife into making it an annual thing. So
there you go.
We'll see what the old wallet says too. So
Hey, I've only been married for 3 years, so I don't know how much advice that I can give to you, but you may want to say, okay, I'll cut the hats down to 150 and we'll start to make the annual trip back to Charlotte, you know. You might have to just cut
I'm
back
at
just a little of something.
I'm at 10 years of marriage, so maybe I'll tell her just 5 hats a year, not 20.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of great comments. Hey, Nate, thank you so much. And I'm going to find a way to keep in touch and stuff with you, man. It was awesome speaking with you. Appreciate the time.
All right, cool, man. Hey, thank you guys very much. I really enjoyed it. Sorry I talked a lot.
Yeah, man. No, you're good. Thanks for coming
on,
on,
All
man.
right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Wow, I feel like I just found a super fan that I need to call the Panthers with and say, hey, we got to line something up for this guy.
In Idaho, yeah.
That's impressive right there. From basically the whole opposite coast of the country in the middle of pretty much nowhere. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about his town, but pretty much nowhere, right? And to be able to have that and to, have that enthusiasm for a team that's like 4,000 miles away. I mean, that's dedication right there.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I had to Google it. Do either of you guys know what Idaho is by?
By Washington and Montana.
Utah and Oregon.
Andre, I think you had it right. What'd you say, Andre?
Montana?
I said Montana, Washington.
I thought, yeah. So, yeah, Andre's a little closer. Montana, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming. It's out there.
It's up. It's up there.
It's up there.
He said 2 hours from Salt Lake City, so I was like, okay,
oh, he said that?
Man, yeah, he did. He said he's 2 hours
and then
from
Boise too. So he's kind of in between the two major cities there.
Wow. I wonder if he had a nonstop flight.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, because that's quite the journey right there from basically the whole West Coast all the way to here.
All right. So we're going to get back on track. Again, Dunc, if you have to get off at any point, just go ahead and get off. We got about 18 minutes left, so I love to make sure that we touch on as many comments as possible. Not as bad as yesterday. Andre let me get to 100 comments that before we even started reading them, which made it not even possible to start going through it. Right now, we're at about 80 that I haven't touched.
Well, when you got that many people on, I mean, it gets out of control real quickly, my friend.
So for the rest of the show, we're just going to try to say whoever gets it first, you get your time, and then somebody can have a really short follow-up if you want. But we'll just try to take one person per comment so we can get through them. Did we finish the comment or comments on? I think we made the right pick going with Bryce. Did we finish that one?
I think we covered as much as we could on that.
All right, so we'll continue to go on through these. Blah, 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 blah. Matt Chatter says, where do you usually sit? I think I don't know who he could be talking to. This is at the beginning of the show. We usually sit in the press box. I'm going to stay on track because Andre probably knows I have a lot of stuff to say. And I don't want my phone ringing when we get off here, so I'm just going to keep it moving.
Keep it at peace, Chris.
I'm keeping it at peace. Keep it close to the chest.
Right.
Let's see. It's just some hellos. Happy Victory Monday from the biggest Carolina Panthers fan in Houston, my man Noah, a member of the channel as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Our photographer's actually in Houston today, doing some work, but nevertheless, Eve and Mingo got involved. Sorry, I'm trying to go through these comments as quickly as possible. Josh Rousey, oh snap, what a collab we got going on. And I lose my voice. Y'all can say something to help me out. Come on.
We like to see you struggle, Chris. That's why.
Yeah. You're the bus driver, man.
Exactly.
Y'all can see the comment. Finish reading it for me.
Yeah, I tuned in live. Right. Hope you guys are doing good this glorious Monday. Well, you picked a good day to hop on. We have a lot of activity on, and you just not really missed, but you just saw a freaking fanatic who lives in Idaho, of all places, rooting the team on and being able to show out on Sundays. So, you picked a good day to tune in here on Charlotte Vibe.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you.
It's a little bit of relief, right?
Y'all just go watch me die. Hey,
it's more comedic than
the slow death. Who's gonna hit the sound effects? When Who's gonna hit that at some time? But anyway, our offensive line had a very tough time yesterday with the Houston Texans. My man Bryce got beat up. Let's see, he got sacked 6 times. I know Dunc talked about how many times he was hit. On the rushing side, we only had 44 total yards, and good old Miles Sanders had 0 on the day. So I bring up those little comments to say that there's a comment, move Icky to left guard. Certainly some things could be improved. What do you guys think?
When? Like, you're not going to do that tomorrow or today. Who is going to be your left tackle?
Exactly.
That's my thought process, So, I think you spend that much draft, not that much, but you spend that high of a draft pick on a guy, you almost have to go down with the ship. I mean, maybe you make some contingency plan this offseason for a guy that has some versatility, or you just say, hey, Brady, Christensen, be on standby. But I don't really think there's any. They can give him help in the short term and stuff, but it's puzzling to see what him and his whole tackle class. Honestly, that whole draft class has been kind of struggling. So it's just very rare. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you got to give guys 3 years. I mean, Andrew Thomas in New York, he really struggled as well. He didn't really grow into his own until year 3. He became one of the elite left tackles in the league right now. So I want to be patient just off of that, but it's tough, especially when you see the way Bryce gets ragdolled almost every time Icky gets beat. It's like you give up sacks on the first play of the game 2 weeks in a row. I mean, 2 games in a row. You did the same thing in Miami. You did it this week. It's like, man. It's frustrating.
Hey, here's a wonderful comment. Josh Riley says, I'm subscribed to both of you guys, and I couldn't decide which one to go tune in to since they were both at 7. I feel like I got a 2-for-1 deal. Hey! Tell your friends about it. We got 2-for-1s on
live.
This Monday.
Yeah, tune in live now, and then go watch my video after the live. That's what you got to do. My video not going nowhere. You tune in live right now.
Hey, you were covered on all bases tonight, Josh. We got you. We got you covered real good.
Leonard Krause said he would be surprised if there are any trades at all before the deadline. How about this one? Jonathan Mingo, 40-yarder Mingo was the best, a sign of things to come. I know I really, really like Jonathan Mingo. I had a chance to speak with him down in Spartanburg as things were going, and he just had this demeanor where he was just like, I'm not too talkative, I ain't got a lot to say, but I'm about this football life. And I remember during that conversation, he talked about, I'm a physical guy. I love to, after I get the ball, run hard afterward. And that's actually something I have seen from him a lot throughout. He hadn't had a ton of receptions, but each time that he does catch the ball, I feel like there is something that could happen. Has a little bit more speed than the LaVisca guy. And he did have that flash with that big play yesterday. And I feel like he's just a rookie only in his 7th game now. Has he missed any games? I think he did miss a game or 2, right?
Yeah, he had a concussion.
Yeah, and he's missed a couple of games. I feel like he's doing very well, and I'm excited to continue to see him do some work.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys where, you got to give him time. Obviously, he's going to have some hurdles along the way. He had a drop earlier in that game yesterday, but he was still able to show out and contribute to what they were doing offensively yesterday. I mean, he had his best game up to this point in his career, and that's only going to continue. And you got to give him time to, have those struggles and have those roadblocks, but ultimately get better from them.
Yeah, hey, I've been hard on. Oh, sorry. I've been hard on Mingo, not harsh, but I thought he was a little bit more. I thought he would be a little bit more polished as the wide receiver coming out, but he's still kind of raw. Didn't have a ton of production at Ole Miss, but I think with time and with proper usage, I mean, not saying that, no slight to Frank, but I feel like all the receivers have suffered to an extent. But I think it's just the thing of fans do comparing stuff. You see Puka Nacua, who was 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, whatever he was, balling out. And then you see a lot of other late round receivers that were chosen after him, or even others that was picked in the 2nd round, like Rashee Rice in Kansas City. And you certainly be like, okay, hey, why didn't our mid round or day 2 pick receiver start flashing in his rookie year as well? So you get kind of a feel of that, but I just feel like it's hard to judge any receiver in this system at this point. They're not great overall, but I just think we're at a weird spot as a franchise and as an offense in general, especially with the offensive line struggles, that it's hard to fully evaluate. But like you said, time. It'll just be time.
And Andre, you already saw it here on the screen. Looks like because he's smiling. I'm not gonna completely roast it because we got about 10 minutes left. They're one you, Andre. They're putting out APBs and saying, "What's going on? Is he gonna come to the show?"
They're like, "Where he at? Where he at?" But we're here. We're here. We're gonna keep at it, man. We're gonna keep at it.
Chanton says, "I love our new offensive coordinator. Man, called it a great game. What about trading Dalton with all the injuries to the quarterback?" So. I just now reading this. I think I saw something flash by on Twitter earlier today. If you trade Dalton, who do you have behind Dalton to back up Bryce if he gets hurt?
Yep.
We don't have anybody. We just got back Jake Luton the other day, who had gotten taken from us early in the season with the Saints. So to me, that could work, but earlier I touched on it about like our scouting team already having their homework. And, I've heard Dan Morgan talk about their personnel, and it blows my mind how many people they have just dedicated to finding the next player. So it's not as big of a task as I may think it is as one person. They should already have spreadsheets and things already there, but it would have to be a really good plan that they already have in place to say, who are we going to have back up Bryce? And I don't think you can just say, well, we can just get anybody because he's getting hit a lot. So you feel like it's certainly possible that he could get hurt. He is smaller. He's been durable, but he could break down. And I think just any intelligent coach will go to say, this is the NFL. I'm giving a little coach speak like Dunc did earlier. Everybody can get hurt. I don't think there's many seasons where your starting quarterback makes every single snap. And if that happens, then where would the Carolina Panthers be? But I like that idea. It's like, hey, let's see if that could work. Because there are some quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks got hurt yesterday. I think about 5 of them got hurt yesterday.
Yeah.
Most notably, Cousins is out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett got hurt again.
Oh, he did. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's another interesting situation there. But I just don't see them doing that just because you bring in Andy Dalton for that reason, to be that insurance policy, and you're going to just get rid of it. I just don't see how that's a feasible option for Carolina there.
All right, moving on.
Somebody said he's like the best backup. He may be one of the best backups in the league, and at this rate, he may be a top 3 quarterback in the division. Man, you gotta hold on to that guy.
Hopefully, to the members, if I haven't done a good job tonight, I apologize. Again, a new format, and I'm just tired sometimes. But nevertheless, Chris Mack, one of our members, says, "What's up, y'all? How you doing? Appreciate you, Chris Mack." And then Shackhead? Why haven't you come on tonight, man? You always come on, and you haven't came on tonight, but I'm going to read your comment. Is us only getting 15 points, is it because our offense is very bad or the Texans' defense is great? Well, I don't know how many times we've had more than 15, 20 points in the game anyway for you to be like, hey, this isn't something new. I mean, Bryce only threw 1 touchdown yesterday, and the rest came off of field goals. And all season long, we've been having some defensive scoring that's helped us out. But I'll, again, let one of you guys also touch on that.
I'll just say Shaqid or Shaq, if you will. Just be happy that we won yesterday. I mean, I get it. You're overly critical. I mean, you're very outspoken, which I respect you for because, hey, some of it is deserved, some of it isn't. But just be glad that we won yesterday. I mean, yeah, it was an ugly victory by any stretch of imagination. It wasn't pretty, but we were able to figure it out. We were able to claw out a pretty gritty win yesterday. So, I mean, you can make a case for either or. I could see both sides of the argument, but really, to be honest with you, I don't care what our offensive output was yesterday because ultimately we won, which we haven't done yet this season. So I'll take it with a grain of salt, but just be glad that we finally got something going in the win column.
I see you getting a little spicy here later in the season after 1-6 start, Andre. Okay. Keep it up.
I'll say a little bit of both. Well, we know that we'd have little room for error offensively. Like there's not a ton of talent. The offensive line struggles, not a ton of speed on the outside. We definitely didn't have a running game yesterday. But if you look at the box score, I'm looking at the drives now. The first quarter, 2 3 and outs. Second quarter, 10-play drive, turned it over on downs. We were in the red zone. That's a touchdown that we could have got on the board. We went forward on fourth down, tried to run the ball, 3 or 4 straight times, didn't get points.
Did you like that fourth down attempt for a TD?
I didn't hate it. I would have got a little bit more creative, probably on third down, and then tried to run it again on fourth. That didn't work. But getting a yard was so tough until that final drive. But that's probably my only complaint about Thomas Brown. But 10 plays, 64 yards, turn it over on downs on the 1 yard line. We get a touchdown there or points at all. We're looking at 18 to 22 points. The following drive, we go 9 plays, score a touchdown. In the next drive, ended it with a half. Coming out in third quarter, field goal on that drive, 9 plays, 49 yards. So we moved the ball. Another drive, Blackshear runs a 50-yard kick return. We don't do anything on that drive, but we end up having to this is just another drive that we got. After the fumble from the defense, we only got a field goal out of that drive after we had great field position. They scored a touchdown, and after that, we go 3 and out after a Blackshear 50-yard return that put us in our own territory. We lose yards, don't get any points there. So it's like the opportunities are there. The ball was moved. They just have to start putting things together consistently. And we just, like I said, we don't have a lot of wiggle room to make mistakes and overcome them. So they just got to put a little bit more together. And I think it kind of is what it is. At this point, we can be a little bit more creative with the play calling. But like we said, we don't see any moves being made. So they kind of are what they are at this point. There'll be some improvement just based off of health and maybe just trying some different things. But I thought we moved the ball pretty decent after that first quarter. Just got to convert when you got to have it, So,
all right, we got just a couple minutes left. We're just gonna try to really touch on these real quick. I gotta put this one on the screen because this is one of our most unique subscribers. She's a Philly fan, but she likes Bryce Young, and she subscribed to our channel because she likes what we're trying to build over here at Charlotte Vibe. So we always sincerely appreciate those that feel like they're part of the family, just want to help support us and what we do. I know Dunc as well, being a YouTuber, knows about the grinds and things it takes to do it. So sincerely appreciate that. And she says, good to see you, Dunc. So I guess that's another 2-for-1 that we might have. We're going to have to do like Netflix. We're going to have to cut down on these sharing of passwords or something going on out here. We trying to
start increasing some prices too.
Yeah,
Shout out to Michelle. She was on a live stream last night. She actually gave me a super chat last night. So shout out to Michelle.
There we go. Hey, we got
super chat.
That's for Dunc from last night because we just love everybody like that. So
I gotta get my soundbite game up like you. I gotta get my soundbite game.
I gotta compensate for what I don't have, man. I only have some videos and some locker room. I don't have it tonight, so I was like, let me get these. Let me provide some entertainment. So, Argonaut, I'll be at my first Panthers home game next year's opener. Won tickets, taking advantage, and flying from Canada, and excited for it. Again, I'm gonna show my geographic ignorance tonight. I went to the Detroit game and was shocked that Canada's right across the street, literally. I never knew that because my phone picked up saying
just
Canada.
Go over the bridge, man, and you're there.
Still haven't been to Canada, but very cool. But I won't expose all my geographic ignorance tonight. Last one before we get out of here. Kalen Bean, should Sanders now be the highest paid RB3? Nobody wants to touch on that.
I think is the better question.
Yeah, let's read the question there. I mean, because it's looking like he's falling off of the rotation right now.
That snap count sheet told a lot. I think he only got a couple, 2 more snaps than Blackshear. I think they had the same amount of touches, yes, for no yards. So I don't know how much say so Thomas Brown has now, but it feels like not reality, but I feel like things are getting shaken up. Hayden Hurst is not getting the PT and the targets that he was. Miles is falling out of favor. Tommy's
some of it is self-inflicted.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is We got to shake things up. You're 0-6. You got to change something up.
Right.
So it's unfortunate that you would think the bigger, I guess, brand names, for lack of better words, would be your biggest and the money guys that you spent money on. But I mean, like Reich said it today, it's a meritocracy. So
Hey, so we're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna give each person a solo shot. Andre Cassidy, I'll pose a question to you. What do you think happens for the rest of the season? What do we got?
I do feel a little more confidence with the outlook. I don't think it's going to be anything major. I do feel like we're going to be more competitive down the stretch. These next 2 weeks are going to be a key indicator for, again, the rest of the season and how things go. If we could start sustaining some of the things that we were able to do yesterday, and it becomes, back-to-back things that come together and really start to develop into something good, then I do feel like we can be competitive and things can turn around. I mean, when you look at the division right now, you have a realistic shot if you can start stringing some wins together. I think there are some healthy habits that they are starting to develop, and there have been improvements with Bryce Young in the offense, but there's still things that they need to get a better hold of. So I'm going to keep my optimism relatively cautious. I'm not going to exceed any sort of, expectation that I had at the beginning of the year, because obviously that has changed with how things have started so far. But I do feel a little bit more hopeful than I did before the bye week. So I'll say that.
Hey, and I'm going to pick on you just a little bit. Hopefully, it might have just been a choice of words. So you said sustain. I don't want to sustain much from yesterday because that was an ugly game. I want to build upon. But, when you say sustain, I think about that offensive line and how many times they let Bryce get hit. I think about how many drops we had. Maybe I'm picking on you or anything. But nevertheless, let's go to
But
Dunc.
it's something that you want to see, though. It's something that you do want to see, some sustained success to be able to move forward here.
I think people want to continue to see you dance after a victory. So
We'll see.
Hold on. Let's see if we can give him a big introduction. I don't think I have a good sound effect. My voice is going. Nevertheless, we got Dunc. Unnecessary bluntness in here. He's gonna motivate me to do some push-ups after the show. Get right, get swole like he is. And I don't have any hats or any jerseys or any helmets, but I do have a pair of cleats. That's about it. But nevertheless,
So
what's
running.
up? Well, let me come back on the screen really quickly here. If I can toot my own horn, I am the reigning media 40-yard dash champion for the Carolina Panthers. And I have a football to show for it. And I got
Here
some
we
cleats
go.
as well for that moment. So I'm not necessarily a runner, but I am gifted. And, as your agent, because I know you're in shape, we're going to try to get you a little tryout. I do what I can.
I might have to test that.
We're past time. Let me give it back to Doug. Go ahead, man.
my prediction for the rest of the year,
How do you think the rest of the season is going to play out for this team? Prepare this fan base for the rest of the season?
I'm not gonna try to sell you any dreams of NFC South. This division is crazy enough that if you don't believe that anything is possible at this point, especially after last year and with anything we've seen over this division's whole life, that anything can happen. There's nothing else for me to be able to sell you on that. However, for the Panthers on their own, I just think that now that they've got a taste of winning, I think that can be very, very motivating for people to come to work and want to be excited about what they're doing. They actually finally see that the hard work and stuff that you've been putting in is finally paid off, and no matter how many points they scored or didn't score or dropped passes or whatever, they won. And this team was always going to have to find their identity just with Bryce Young. And same thing happened last year. We had to reinvent ourselves with all the multiple quarterbacks and then getting rid of Robbie or Chosen and getting rid of CMC. Steve Wilkes had to really reinvent this team to just be a downhill team. We're going to run the ball no matter what. It took a couple weeks. We won some games on the way doing that. We lost some games. I think it's the same way. Obviously, we've lost more games on that journey right now. It's just the timing of the way our schedule laid out was kind of bad. Had we played our divisional opponents within the next 2 weeks, I would feel way better about how things would go. But you got to play the team that's in front of you. A lot of winnable games coming up. Colts, Bears. The only world beaters that you have on the schedule remaining are the Cowboys and the Jags. Everybody else are, like Steve Smith said, just Jags. They're just some guys.
Ooh.
They're
Oh,
not
boy.
that great. They're not that great. They're kind of in that cluster of the NFC South and doing what they do, and just below average teams. And some of these a bad team is going to make the playoffs. It might as well be the Panthers. So if they can put something together, it would be exciting.
We talking playoffs. Oh boy.
Yeah, if they can make this back stretch of the season just exciting like last year. I mean, last year we haven't watched a meaningful Panthers game in January in years. So if they can do that, it's a lot easier to make videos and content when that's going on versus that 0-6 start. But
Double amen to that. So
buckle up.
let me end the show. I saw a comment that came by. It says, "Who won the Bryce Young jersey?" So you know what? We're gonna make a little live giveaway, and then we all gonna get back to our families and what we got to do this evening. Again, Dunc, keep laughing at my voice, man. I don't know what's happening tonight.
I ain't going. I'm not going.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all
I'm not
truthfully.
gonna make fun of him, man. I
what
ain't
hurt-
gonna make fun of him.
What hurts so much is I got two people on the show to help fill out the dead air, and they both be like,
I'm a guest in your house, man. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I'm just here.
"Say something." But anyway, let's go ahead and give away this Bryce Young jersey. We had a record almost 800 entries. We're gonna give away another one. We're giving away stuff every week because that's something Andre and I decided to do. We know y'all need something to be happy about. And we want to show you that we in it with you. You know, we got to report on the facts. Sometimes it ain't pretty, but we in it with you. So we're giving away something every week. We're going to give away another jersey next month. So if you missed a jersey this month, wait until next month. But we'll still give away stuff every week. I just can't, maybe I can hit up my guy that we just met tonight and see if he'll donate a jersey. But I just don't have it like that to give y'all jerseys every single week. I actually like the idea of
That actually might
saying,
be a good idea.
I wanted to say every time Bryce Young wins, or AKA the Panthers, I'm going to give away a Bryce Young jersey. But again, I need super chats and Cash App, so I can't do that yet, Let's go ahead and draw this winner. Let's see. Randomly draw winners. How many winners? I want one winner. And live. Let's see. So it just told me who the winner was, I think, but I don't know how to figure out what it just did.
Do we have a drum low sound effect?
No, we have a
Not yet.
we have a Chris may have to say we'll come back to it because I don't want to keep everybody much longer because we're already 7 minutes over. But I'm going to give myself about another 30 seconds to see if I can figure out who it just picked as the winner. Manage anyways, entries. Okay, here we go. Maybe I just needed to refresh. Drum roll that we do not have.
Here we go.
The winner is Jonah Liss. Liss. Jonah Liss. You are the winner of the Bryce Young jersey. I will email you so we can get that out to you as soon as possible. For Dunc of Unnecessary Bluntness, his information will be in the description. Andre Cassidy, I'm Chris Jenkins. Thank you all for watching. Congratulations, Panther fans. We got off the snide, I think is what they say.